Hi, I'm Stacy.
And I'm Allison, and we're the lab techs at the Kalamazoo, Michigan office. We just wanted to create this video in the hopes that it helps you when you set up your new office. We wish you all the luck. After receiving blood from the phlebotomist, first set the 1 red top and 3 tiger top tubes aside to clot for 1 hour. Then, prepare for processing of the whole blood specimens. Then take 1 purple top tube and invert it. Scan the CDC label for the WBL sample into RedCap. Remove the WBL label from the sticker sheet and affix it to the purple top tube. Next, make sure a LabCorp label is filled out for the participant and affix it to the purple top tube as well. Make sure none of the labels overlap. Then place the WBL specimen in the refrigerator. Next, we'll process the WBR and WBS samples using the second purple top tube. Always follow the prioritization list job aid. First, invert the tube. Then, remove the lid and use a plastic pre-screened pipette to aliquot 1 milliliter of whole blood into the pre-screened 2 milliliter cryo vial. Using the same pipette, aliquot another 1 milliliter of whole blood into a regular 2 milliliter cryo vial. After completing these 2 whole blood aliquots, replace all the lids and dispose of the purple top tube into the biohazard waste bin. In RedCap, scan the barcodes on the CDC labels for the WBR and WBS specimens into the appropriate fields. Next, affix the WBR sticker to the pre-screened vial and the WBS sticker to the regular 2 milliliter vial. Lastly, place these 2 whole blood specimens into the refrigerator. Now we'll go over the workflow for processing the serum samples. After the red top and tiger top tubes have clotted for 1 hour, they get centrifuged for 15 minutes prior to aliquoting. First, remove all the tubes from the centrifuge and place them in a tube rack for aliquoting. Your balance tubes can also be removed and set aside. The vials needed for processing the red top tube are 1 FluidX pre-screened 2 milliliter vial and 2 regular 2 milliliter cryo vials. Using the auto pipette, grab a clean pre-screened tip. Following the prioritization list for the S09, SR, and SS samples, aliquot 0.5 milliliters of serum into the FluidX vial for the S09 sample first. Adjust the volume on the pipette and aliquot 1 milliliter of serum into the vial for the SR sample, and aliquot 1 milliliter of serum into the vial for the SS sample. Replace the lids on all 3 vials. Next, go to RedCap and scan the CDC labels for all 3 samples into the appropriate fields for the S09, SR, and SS specimens. Affix the labels to the correct cryo vials. For the LabCorp specimens, follow the prioritization list to aliquot 2 milliliters of serum from SST tubes or tiger tops into a 10 milliliter transfer tube for SL1, 4.05 milliliters for SL2, and 3.22 milliliters for SL3, adjusting the pipette each time. Next, scan the CDC labels for SLs 1, 2, and 3 into the appropriate fields in RedCap. Then affix the labels to the tubes, leaving space for more stickers. Next, making sure LabCorp labels are filled out for the participant, affix these labels to the SLs 1, 2, and 3 tubes next to the CDC barcode labels. These will be our ambient room temperature specimens, and we'll get bagged together with a completed LabCorp requisition form. For SL4, Aliquot 0.8 milliliters of serum from the SST tubes or tiger tops into another 10 milliliter transfer tube. Scan the SL4 CDC barcode label and affix it to the tube along with a LabCorp label. SL4 will get bagged together with our WBL sample from earlier and the corresponding completed LabCorp requisition form. These are our refrigerated samples and can go back into the refrigerator. For SL5 and 6, we'll need two 5 milliliter transfer tubes. After aliquoting 0.5 milliliters of serum into each transfer tube, scan the CDC barcode labels into RedCap and affix it to the tubes. Affix a LabCorp label to each tube as well. Lastly, also add a frozen serum from SST label to each tube. These will get bagged together along with their corresponding LabCorp requisition form, and they will be our frozen samples. These need to get placed into the -80 freezer for a minimum of 30 minutes prior to packaging up the LabCorp box.